Welcome to Epilogue Podcast, the show where we discuss some stuff that happened on a different show ages ago which nobody really cares about anymore.
Hi, I'm Portponky.
And I'm LeBloc.
Today we are discussing Farscape Season 2, Episode 8. Dream a Little Dream. Zan explains what happened to her on Litigara between Season 1 and 2.
What do you think of this one?
I thought the first bit was good and it steadily got worse.
What are you including with first bit?
Probably about the first, maybe third of the episode.
Where did it go wrong for you?
Where did it go wrong? Okay, the scene where they're in the bar and the guy gives them the Axiom book. And he says,
The cheat codes?
Yeah, this is actually the law book. Isn't that a cutting tale, a parable about lawyers or something? Yeah, that scene, that's when the episode took a turn from what I thought was quite good to not very good. It's pretty much downhill from there. What did you think, though?
I don't really like this episode, and it's because of the framing. It's all flashback, including people that I know all survive, and so I know it turns out fine.
So you're saying this would have made a lot more sense if it was the real Season 2 opener?
Yeah, there would be actual tension. When Zan is arrested, you would think, oh no. I mean, she's the main character. You figure she'll make it out. But here, I know for sure she makes it out. She's telling the story while she's safe and talking to John. It deflates the whole thing for me.
There is that, yes. The narrative is drawn to a very predictable conclusion. But yeah, what I was hinting at there is that this was originally the Season 2 opener.
That makes a lot of sense.
It was an episode called Reunion, as in RE:union, which was then dropped because it was too out of sort of context with all the stuff with the Scorpius and the command carrier and the asteroid field and all that. So people coming to the show for Season 2 would not really want to know about all these lawyers and stuff. It's a bit of a weird start. So they dropped it in favor of Mind the Baby, the Season 2 opener. But the episode was sliced in with bookends with John and Zan in the transport pod and a couple of cuts and changes.
This would work better without the bookends. Probably.
We'll just have it set chronologically earlier.
Yeah. Because this was a flashback episode, I was hoping for more stuff like what we saw when Zan was having visions in the cell, and she knew that John wasn't really there, but then she still leans on him for comfort, and it was revealing for the state of mind she's in, and it's more about her character instead of trying to make me believe she's in actual danger. I wanted more character stuff because that works fine in a flashback. That works better. You're not going to convince me that these people are in danger when they're all fine in the future.
That's probably why I like the start of the episode a lot more. It has a lot more Zan being stressed and her freaking out in a cell when she's saying that she doesn't know what's wrong with her. That was all quite powerful stuff. And then it turned into Rigel and Chiana having some fun with lawyer tropes. I just thought of a strange way this could have gone.
Go on.
So what if the episode was pretty much like it was, except towards the end it just got worse and worse, and then they all got sentenced to death?
Sure, why not? They all survived.
Yeah, John would say that that's not what happened. And Saturn's like, well, I don't really want to talk about it.
Oh, yeah, well, she was having all these false visions. Why not have the memory corrupted? Like, well, this is how I remember it, John. We all died.
Well, if they're going to mix her fears into the narrative by having characters show up as ghosts, why not mix it the other way?
What do you mean mix it the other way?
So the narrative becomes unreliable.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sure this episode would have been quite different if it was written here. There are some things which really fall flat. Like the shot of John, Aaron, and Dargo walking in silhouetted.
Yeah.
Which is a gorgeous shot, but it has no impact.
I thought for a second they were going to do the thing where it looks like them three, and then they get closer and into the light, and then you see it's three randos that just kind of look like them.
That would have had a lot of impact if it was the season 2 opener.
Yeah, it's strange getting this now. And I definitely felt that awkwardness through this episode. Like, we've dealt with these characters. This is weird to talk about this return as if it's a huge thing.
Oh, something else I noted down. Here's another alternate ending. If John, Dargo, and Aaron really did turn up and break them out of prison.
Oh, he already knows the story?
No, but they never did.
Oh.
John's going to say, well, we didn't do that. And Zen would just have to say, well,
I have to disagree, John.
I have real bad brain problems.
How does she accurately tell the parts that don't have her?
Because it wasn't originally a flashback, but that is a good point.
I didn't even realize this while watching it, but I'm thinking now, so when Rigel has the realization that the guy should have been sunburnt or burnt, he's there at the bar by himself. I can't really imagine Rigel telling that story to Zan.
If he had told it to Zan, it would have been quite different.
Yeah, it would paint him as the hero, not that someone else pointed it out to him.
Yeah,
he did it all himself.
It wouldn't have been an epiphany. It would have been, he would have deduced it from like one look at the guy's face or something.
Yeah, and he would mutter to himself, "I'm so brilliant. I can't wait to tell this to Zan."
The stupid blue eyes sunburn. It's silly. Wait, the guy was dead on the street anyway?
Yeah.
Like, you can get sunburned when you're dead. You don't.
I didn't understand that. I thought they were going to explain that too. I thought, well, our blood stops or something where when you're dead, you can't be burnt. But I don't understand why he couldn't be burned. He was outside.
I think this is one of the plot points that was sort of cut, was that the victim also had blue eyes. They mention it at the end, so it's not cut completely, but yeah. Also, why don't they just have sunscreen?
Yeah.
Moon screen.
The moon's light is too powerful. There's no SPF that's suitable.
But sure, just wear a balaclava.
Yeah, what? Cover your face.
It's
If
not
you
difficult.
know you get burnt, cover your face. Oh, I wish there was something I could do. I guess I just had to get burnt.
There's so many little things that annoy me about this episode. So there's a 90% lawyer planet.
Oh, that really bothered me.
That would make sense if they
Outsourced?
if they outsourced. If Litigans were known across the galaxy as the top lawyer dudes.
Yeah.
But it seemed to be just for their planet only.
That's the impression I got. I don't think they outright say it, But that's what it seems like, and that's ridiculous.
Well, they're only experienced in litigating law. The guy's going on about how it's complicated because there's so many lawyers, but who are they representing? Surely everyone can just represent themselves.
Yeah.
Or they represent the utility dudes who they all hate.
Maybe it's a huge tourism planet, and then tourists are always getting injured, and they have to represent them.
That wouldn't be a huge tourism planet then.
Yeah.
No one would go
Come to
there.
our planet and get hurt. We'll represent you really well.
We're the North Korea of vacations.
I did like the line about the law growing more complex just to justify the all. That's funny, but it breaks down and doesn't make any sense that 90% of them are lawyers.
So, anyway, he says that he can't put a false defense, or he would suffer the same fate as his client.
Yeah.
Okay, that's probably the stupidest law I've ever heard. So what if you lie and they get found not guilty, and then they find out you lied, so they also find you not guilty?
Yep. They figure if you're good enough to get a not guilty verdict, you get a free pass.
Even if it becomes obvious you've committed massive perjury.
Yeah. It's a little reward.
Then the other thing is that seriously impacts low penalty trials. Oh, you've got 50 speeding tickets. Don't worry, I'll just make up some rubbish. I'll lie about it. The worst that'll happen is I'll have to pay, a few $100s. There's no penalty. They're like, it shouldn't. I can see what they're going for, but the phrasing of that is so vague.
Right. They did that because, oh no, he could get executed. But if you apply that to any other situation, it's silly.
What if you lie in a divorce settlement? What's the penalty then? Okay, the children are not allowed to visit the lawyer. Okay. Anyway, even without lying, he could have mounted a very strong case for Zan being not guilty. Like you don't have to lie. You're representing someone. They're telling their side of the story.
Yeah, that part doesn't make sense.
If a person is guilty and they tell the lawyer, "I'm going to plead not guilty," but it turns out they are, the lawyer's not lying by pleading not guilty. The lawyer is just representing. That's not how law works. They could represent them with a very, very weak case, but that's all it is representation. The point of law is that this won't hold.
We can't rule out that guy is an incompetent lawyer if he didn't know what he was talking about.
Well, I assume he's sort of pro bono kind of guy. They never addressed how Zan managed to melt the bar over her cage. Her jail cell.
I thought for sure that would come up when Shiana started the line of questioning with the guard on duty. And how do you suppose my client melted a bar? How do you not mention that?
Well, the case against Zan would be very weak.
Oh, maybe the bar was replaced? But then...
How did she escape then?
How'd she get out in the first place?
Why would she kill that guy?
She was mad with rage.
Then how did she do an intricate jail escape?
She planned with rage.
She calmly raged her way out of jail.
Yes.
Jenna and Nigel were witnesses as well, as were some other dudes. Also, those guys had like that net thing that bagged Gianna. Couldn't they just have bagged the guy? Put him in a bath full of concrete? Dumped him at the bottom of a lake or something?
Too much work. Not enough concrete.
Also, they said Ja Ruman was in charge of the whole planet or something.
They did?
Did they? They said he was chairman of the leading law firm.
Oh, right.
Why is he there? How many people are on this planet? If he's in charge, then is it just like 100 people or something?
Maybe.
That could explain why 90% of them are lawyers. That actually seems not too bad. I mean, it's still disproportionate, but I could understand how 90 lawyers could happen through bad planning.
How many utilities did we see? 2?
2, yeah, maybe 3, including the dead guy. So, are you taking that as the total number?
Well, you would think you would see more. Maybe not. 10% is really low for population.
Plus, they all probably sleep in a hole in the ground somewhere. Those damn guys cleaning everything and preparing all the food, and basically the entire infrastructure of society. If only there was something they could do to starve out the leading lawyer class, such as not provide the infrastructure which keeps this society together. So, well, anyway, as you can see, it's pretty easy to dig into this episode and find out that it's a lot of silly stuff put together. However, there's one annoying thing that tops all of them.
Chiana taking speed pills for no reason.
That was silly, but I'm usually fine with Chiana and Rigel getting screen time. They're entertaining. What I was referring to was the wonderful ending, the Deus Ex Machina.
Oh, I didn't even understand what Moya was doing.
Neither did I.
Okay. I thought, okay, they gave a signal for Moya to do something. Why is this working? What is actually happening? I don't. So much of this doesn't make sense.
It didn't make any sense at all.
No attempt to explain it.
It's stupid, it's cheap, it's an obvious gotcha from the law books. If it was this easy to fake, people would do it all the time. And they would say, no, this is silly. They would amend the law to say, no, that's actually just stupid. Don't do that. Moya just did something or other which made a thing glow. Rigel said, hey, pilot now, really obviously in the middle of the courtroom. No subtlety. What I hope they would have done is when Pilot said your comms were on the whole time, Chiana should have said, well, did you record it?
And then Pilot would be the hero.
Yeah, he would say, yeah, have a full recording if you're being blackmailed by Ja Ruman.
Maybe this isn't actually what happened, and Zan was passed out and made all of this up, and that's why it's so bad. And John doesn't want to press further because it was a difficult time for Zan, and so he accepts it on the face.
It does read like bad courtroom drama, as if Zan had just made up a courtroom story. She wasn't very good. It's full of cliches and has a bad Deus Ex Machina ending.
I really like the idea of Zan completely making up a story, and it fixes a lot of problems. So I'll go with that.
Perhaps everything after she sees John Dargo and Aaron as hallucinations, everything after that is unreliable.
Yes.
I could accept that. That would improve the episode. I would have liked them to have done a courtroom drama with a twist ending, and then they still get found guilty, and then just murder their way out of there.
I would like that too. If they showed for sure she's not guilty and they said, you know what, we don't care, we just want to kill you, it'd be easier. And then they blasted their way out.
Just did some really awful ham-fisted escape. That would actually make more sense, because then she would be horribly guilty about that. Plus, it's really unexpected. I think this episode really lacked the kind of unique narrative that Farscape does when it's on its A game, where things happen that you don't expect frequently.
There is none of that here.
It's a pretty generic episode. But as I said, it's a shuffled episode, and that damages the the way the viewer interprets it. If you have the DVDs or the Blu-ray collections or whatever, you might have Reunion, the original episode, as a special feature. Oh, one final thing. Did you notice that it was Kidva barbecue?
No?
That was the creature that John crushed with the door.
Oh, I didn't notice that.
Do you have a quote from this episode which you would like to share?
Trust me, I'm a lawyer.
What now? Why did you pick that one?
Because it's bad, and this episode is bad.
Yeah, that was one of the lines that I didn't really like. Okay, so some of the stuff about the lawyer planet in this episode plays as a kind of parable. And it kind of works. Some of it works. That line is an example of where it really doesn't work. It's sort of cocky and glib, and also you should trust your lawyer. They have special legal protections so you can trust them. It makes it seem like a very kind of layman view of law. You know, it's very so it's sort of written as if they think it's really deep, but it's actually not. It's just misinformed. Do you agree or disagree? Or?
Oh yeah, I agree completely. I picked it because I wanted to highlight how bad it is, and you did an excellent job.
There are other bits I do think work quite well for the lawyer thing. I don't know if the lawyer thing was supposed to be like a joke originally. It was not played for laughs.
No, I wasn't laughing.
No.
Well, the stuff I laughed at had nothing to do with the lawyers.
Was it Chiana and Rigel being idiots?
Yes.
Yeah,
And
pretty much.
drunk Rigel in the beginning.
Perhaps the next episode will be a lot more entertaining.
I hope so.
Let's watch it and find out.
Okay.
Okay.